Hi, Josh. Welcome to tonight's
Hello.
session. What brings you in tonight?
Um, I'm in the school and doing my MSW and it's interesting because there's times where I get involved in stuff that I don't know if the regular student has to deal with it, because I'm an older student. I'll just put it out there and I just kind of I have all these additional responsibilities at home and I'm definitely feeling, overwhelmed. It's I want to, my son's a senior in high school, and I want to be of as much of a part in what's going on with him because I know for a fact that, he's going to be outside of home and leaving when he goes to school next fall. And so we're going through the whole college process, which is stressful. Which stresses me out even more because he acts like it's no big deal. Like, yeah, we'll figure it out. And I'm like, no, we got to figure this out. Like, and scholarships we're trying for academics and trying to get every nickel and dime that you can save, and so money's really stressful right now. And then my oldest, and she's great, but she's kind of on autopilot, and that worries me when she gets like that because it's like, okay, when's the ball going to drop on you? Something's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen.
Sure.
And then I've got my youngest who is just doing his thing and happy. And it's just, you just try to make sure that, I feel guilty, like I'm not there enough for everybody,
Okay.
and then so, I feel sad. There's times where I really genuinely feel sad that I'm missing a lot of these experiences because I'm spending so much time doing hours for clinical,
Mm.
for, you know, writing papers, for, you know, the textbook reading, and then the videos that, nothing wrong with the videos, but they're long, and it's like, and I have to be in a good place to watch them because I don't want to be one of these things watching them and then next I don't remember anything in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like the times I'm giving my kids and my wife are like the worst quality of time because
Mm-hmm.
it's the time where I'm the tiredest, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, hey, what's up? Like, and it's just I'm not really present.
Mm. So that's a lot going on. You're got your three children and your wife and school, and you're having some feelings of sadness and guilt.
Yeah, it's like I wish I could do more to be present in what's going on with them. Um, and but I also know realistically, like there's only 24 hours in a day. And if I've got to put in an hour of reading or an hour of a video, that I've got to do it. Because, you know, this program, financially, you put a lot of money into it, and you want to get the most out of it. The last thing you want to do is pay for something and not get the experience that you want to get from it, and get the tools that you want to have for the future. So,
Mhm.
just a hard time juggling all of my not responsibilities, but like, having those needs versus those wants. Like, I need
Mhm.
to do this, but I want to do this instead,
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Um, how does that make you feel when you have to choose a need over a want?
You know, it's a good question because there's sometimes where I feel like it's some in some situations it's pretty easy, and then some situations it's a little bit more difficult. Like the bigger ones are easy. Like my son had a football game. Like, I'm just gonna be there. Now, did I bring my textbook? Yes, because I sat from the stands and did a little reading here and there when I could concentrate. But I was present. I was there, and it was great. And then there's other times where I just feel like they're in the house, and my house is kind of like just white noise now, and I'm just on this laptop all the
Mm.
time. And it's
Mhm.
all my life is looking at, this little screen. And that's where it gets difficult.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like I have a hard time knowing, hey, it's time to close the laptop and take a break.
Hmm.
and I wish I was better at that because I feel like if I could do that, I could probably spend a little bit of time with, the kids at the house and then get back to it.
What would you like to make yourself better at that? What could you do to make yourself better at that?
Um, you know, I get so engrossed sometimes in what I'm doing or watching or what it is that I kind of lose track of time.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
for me, it's good Lord, I've got every electronic in the house. It's probably telling Alexa, and I don't mean that hopefully Alexa's not at your house, but just saying Alexa timer 10 minutes and just,
Mm.
like giving myself time to kind of like, okay, I did this. I'm giving myself an extra 10 minutes to go sit with the kids or check with the kids or just kind of saying, hey, how you doing? What you up to? And then, once I do that, kind of going back. So, having something to kind of break that up would probably be helpful. And I could probably do that pretty easily with, like I said, all the electronics I have. So, and that would be important to do
Mhm. Would
because it's
that,
not,
oh,
it's not, how it is. It's not the length of time, it's the quality of time, you know.
would that help you feel a little bit better about spending time your with the people that are important to you?
Yeah, I would feel good because, thinking about it, knowing that, hey, I'm putting this away and that by doing that, I'm showing everybody, I'm showing myself that even though schools and investment, it's important that they're just as important. So just
Mhm.
kind of having the closing, the lid of the laptop here and kind of doing that just physically feels good, you
Mm.
know. I don't know how you do, but at the end of the day, when I close that laptop, I feel good. Like I'm walking away.
Mhm.
So kind of doing that and going through the actual physical motion, makes me feel happy. So I could probably do that when I take that break with them,
Mhm.
and really like, okay, set that little, cell phone ready for 10 minutes and go see the kids when the alarm goes off. Like, all right, I got to get back to it. My school guys, but they'll know that, hey, they're important.
That sounds like a good idea to try that out.
I'm gonna try that out. I think that would be good.
Okay. Would you like to report back on that next time?
Sure, sure. I would definitely 100% like to report back on that. Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks for coming in today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mhm.